Okay, so I'm going to talk very briefly about how to perform outreach with a Mac. So we're just going to talk a little bit about how to use your browser effectively to use FriendRaiser, and then how to use your browser to hook up with the Mac's mail client to speed up your email outreach process. So just very briefly, when you're using your browser, you want to use tabs to your advantage, and I'll show you this later on in the demo video. But basically, instead of clicking through pages in FriendRaiser and doing one alumni at a time, you want to take your alumni in batches. So you'll open up a page in FriendRaiser of alumni that need to be contacted, hopefully that are at the same level of outreach, so you haven't emailed any of them yet. And then you open each new alumni page in a new tab, and you work through it from left to right and send an email using the Mac Mail client, and then send another email and send another email. And that way you can kind of make it one big process. I also recommend that you use discovery statuses. That's very, very important, so that you can filter your alumni. And I also think that, as I said before, just clicking through pages on FriendRaiser is an incredible waste of time. And forgetting to use comments can really mess up your process. And so we'll get to all that a little bit later when I do a little demo. But for now, just keep those things in mind. And so briefly, I want to introduce you, before I show you, to Mac's Mail client. And that's the little stamp icon down on your dock. And basically, if you're not using it yet, I recommend that you start using it, if only for your outreach process, because it has a feature called Stationery, which is basically a template email that you can save and edit very quickly and send, and it really speeds up the process. It's way faster than copying and pasting. And I've gotten to the point now where I can send 50 emails in 20 minutes and clicking through from FriendRaiser, literally 4 clicks per email. So it works really well. And so now I'm gonna switch over to a different PowerPoint and show you or how exactly to use Mac Mail Stationery, and then I'll show you a little demo. Cool. Alright, so now I'm going to talk to you just very briefly about how to use Mac Mail Client's Stationery feature, which, as I mentioned in the previous video, is basically a template for your emails that really speeds up your outreach process. So, to create Stationery, the first thing that you need to do is type out your template email. I like to leave the name blank so that I don't have to delete anything. I can just fill it in. But you can see that you have a dear blank and then my name, and this is your typical introduction email. And then you want it to look something like this. Hopefully not exactly like this. So you seem like you have a little bit of a personality. And then the next step is to click File, and then you want to save that email as Stationery. It's really important to remember to include a subject line, because the Stationery will fill that in for you. And then once you have the saving process started, you want to save each template email under a title that you're going to remember. So I like to save my introductory email as alumni intro email, and then the second email that I send to alumni that I don't hear a response from, I save as alum second email, and obviously the third email that's a little bit briefer is alumni third email. And so I recommend that you save at least 3 different, whoops, what did I just do? Stationery. So I recommend that you save at least 3 different emails, if not a 4th. I have a thank you email that I can at least get the beginning part, which is typically the same, and then I edit the second half. So once you have your Stationery saved, you want to it works really well because it works with FriendRaiser, and so you can go to FriendRaiser and you tap the mail icon, and using the mail to command, basically the browser knows to find your mail client on your computer and insert the email address of the person that you're trying to email. So if you click that mail icon, it should open up a new email in the Mac Mail client, and if it doesn't, you can troubleshoot. Give me a call, I guess. And basically it'll open up a new email in Mac Mail, and then you want to click on Show Stationery, and it'll open up some boxes down in just like this. And so you want to click on the appropriate template email. So you see here I clicked on alumni intro, and it automatically fills the space of the body of the email. And then you can click to insert the alumni's name. And as you're going pretty fast, it can become pretty easy to automate this process. So you want to make sure that you don't forget any steps, because, not that I've ever done this before, but sending an email that seems really templated can obviously throw an alumni off and make them not feel singled out. So make sure to fill in their name, and then do a double check before you send off the email, just so you have the alumni's name filled in appropriately with the correct title and last name, and make sure you spell it correctly. You want your correct email address. So a lot of times in the Mac Mail client, I personally have multiple emails attached to the client, so I make sure that I send all of my outreach emails with my official university address, and then you want to make sure that their email address is correct, which it should be because it's auto-filled in from Friendraiser, and then make sure that you're sending them the correct template email. And there's all the different areas that you want to just briefly look at, and then you send. And that email gets sent off, and then make sure you go to your Friendraiser and update their status as email 1 sent on this day, and then you're done.